This is the Northern Cape, South Africa's largest and least populated province. A land of vast, open and impressive spaces. The region is known for its exotic natural features, dramatic skyline and wildlife. It's also famous for the Karoo Desert, the Khoisan and their rock art. But the Northern Cape is mostly known for the commodity which changed the world forever: diamonds. The exotic stone was first found here in 1867, and the discovery of an 83.5 carat diamond on the slopes of the Colesberg Koppie 4 years later led to the first diamond rush. Diggers from all over the world arrived to seek their fortunes. By the turn of the century, Kimberley was the diamond capital of the world. Today, the new Diamonds and Destiny Visitor Centre tells the fascinating story of diamonds, the people that sought them, the tools they used, and the wealth they generated. The Northern Cape capital, Kimberley, known as the Diamond City, is a thriving metropolis with elegant Victorian buildings complementing the modern CBD. The city is a stunning mixture of memories of the past fused with modernity. War memorials and that of the first South African pilots trained here stand bold. In recent times, the lesser flamingos at Camphor's Dam not only attracted tourism, but controversy. And today, what was the Colesberg Koppie is now the spectacular Big Hole, still attracting interest from around the world. But never has the region been in the headlines for the beautiful game. Now the region wants to draw the biggest football teams on the planet. 5 years ago, South Africa received the honor to host the biggest sports event in the world, the 2010 FIFA World Cup. And the Northern Cape has ambitions to be a base camp during the World Cup for qualifying nations. Football clubs from the region have not been able to represent in the prestigious Premier Soccer League.
The main factor was financial. You'll understand that we were operating a team without any sponsor, without clearly no support from government also. I mean, we did our spade work by approaching government to say, this is a flagship. This is a team that later we can go to the PSL, you know. But I don't think that foresight was there then. And but the support from the community was immense.
When the teams play, they go to playoffs, and no other playoff stage. When you have all these 9 provincial teams now, they're vying for promotion. That is where we normally lose it, and it all as a result of the teams being unable to have enough money to attract good players to register them to play in the tournament. It's all a question of money, it's not a question of talent.
When I look at the players that we have produced from Basotho Tigers, I mean, Kaizer Chiefs captain now Jimmy Tau comes from Kaizer Chiefs, who's playing now for Kaizer Chiefs. The current striker, who is a sensation now, Joseph Henyakane at Golden Arrows. I used to see him when he was 17 years. So clearly one wants to go back because there is huge talent here.
The reason why we do not have a first division team in the province today is the fact that due to financial constraints, and also the fact that we did not have a strong base of players emerging through the developmental structure.
But local officials believe the FIFA World Cup will awaken the sleeping giant, which is Northern Cape football. The first step towards that dream was hosting the Metropolitan COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championships.
The reason why we host tournaments like this is to actually cut and polish the real diamonds, which is our people, the people of South Africa. And also cut and polish the real diamonds, because they say you can only use a diamond to cut another diamond.
And the Northern Cape provincial government pulled all the stops. 4 stunning venues were used to portray the City of Diamonds footballing capability. The AR Abbas Stadium, the Hlatshwayo Stadium the De Beers Stadium, and the former Absa Park, now the GWK Stadium. Southern Africa's top 14 under-20 youth nations were drawn in 4 groups.
Well, as the only non-host province in terms of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, it gave us an opportunity to test our state of readiness and our capacity to deal with a major football tournament. And having 14 countries here all around this tight 10-day period has sort of shown that we can rise to the occasion and meet the demands of hosting a good tournament in terms of all the logistical sort of operations that do go around such a tournament.
In Group A, host nation South Africa were drawn to play against Lesotho, the Seychelles and Zambia. A spectacular opening ceremony sparked the tournament to life. Amongst a host of performances, the spectacle included a range of traditional and cultural dance experiences. And after that, the tournament was fired into action by a stunning performance from the host nation in the opening match. South Africa flew out of the blocks. Ajax Cape Town's Thulani Serero opened the scoring for the home side. Serero soon doubled the lead, while Pumelelo Bengu also grabbed a brace to hand Amajita a stunning 4-0 win over Lesotho.
I think feeling proud about it. It's a good start to the tournament, and that is the way we initiated, and that's the way we want the guys to play, display of good football.
After both teams won their opening matches, the clash between South Africa and Zambia at the De Beers Stadium would determine who qualified for the last 4, as only the group winners progress. Amajita got off to a perfect start. SuperSport United midfielder Masibusani Zongo fired home a free kick from 35 meters. Amajita had several chances to double the lead. Kaizer Chiefs striker Mandla Masango got the second when he deftly scooped the ball over Chibali to make it 2-0. The second goal took the sting out of Zambia and ensured Amajita a semi-final berth. In their final group encounter, Amajita easily dispatched the Seychelles at the Ayora Bus Stadium. South Africa were awarded a penalty when the referee ruled somewhat controversially that Mapidima Smart had been pushed inside the penalty area. Zongo converted the resulting spot kick to make it 1-0. South Africa were a little guilty of taking their opponents too lightly in the first half, lacking cohesion and wasting chances. But they stepped up a level in the second period. Following an incisive combination of passes between the impressive fullback Michael Morton and Mapidima Smart, Kaizer Chiefs striker Mandla Masango scored from close range to send the enthusiastic crowd wild. Barely 5 minutes later, Thulani Serero added a magnificent third goal. The Ajax midfielder again deftly lobbing the ball on the volley with the outside of his foot. South Africa finished top of the Group A log standings unbeaten and automatically qualified for the semi-finals. An impressive Zambia finished second, while the Seychelles and Lesotho followed in third and fourth place respectively.
But of course, football is improving in Africa, especially South Africa. They've got a very good team, and I think if they continue like this, they will be one of the force in Africa football, maybe in the world as well, because they've got in place a structure for the youth that is very good.
Group B consisted of 3 nations. Angola, Namibia and Swaziland competed for a place in the semi-final. The first match in the group between Swaziland and Namibia produced a stunning 6-goal thriller in a 3-3 draw. Angola opened their account with an emphatic 6-1 defeat of Namibia. Angola then progressed to the semi-finals after beating Swaziland 2-1. So Angola finished top of Group B on 6 points. Swaziland were runners-up while Namibia was third. Botswana, Malawi, Mauritius and the defending champion Zimbabwe were drawn in Group C. Zimbabwe started the tournament with a fine 3-2 win over Botswana. Here are Zimbabwe's winning moments. Malawi started the tournament like a house on fire, thrashing Mauritius 5-0. The group winner had to be determined by the drawing of lots in accordance with COSAFA rules and regulations.
I think our group was one of the toughest groups. All the teams were competitive and the games were very, very close. So I thought both Malawi and Botswana did very well, and obviously we had a very, very tough game against Mauritius today. So the competition's been very good.
Zimbabwe's name came out of the hat, and unfortunately, Malawi were eliminated. Group D included Comoros, Madagascar and Mozambique. At the Ayora Bus Stadium, Madagascar and Mozambique played what was effectively a knockout quarter-final clash. This after the disqualification of the Comoros team left Group D with only 2 teams remaining. As fate would have it, they played to a goalless draw. The COSAFA organising committee met to discuss the issue and determined that the teams should play each other again to decide the outcome of the group. And so Mozambique edged past Madagascar with a 1-0 victory to reach the semi-final in the easiest way ever. Off the pitch, Kimberley was a hive of activity. A glittering medal function was held at the Mayibuye Centre to mark the occasion of the tournament. The Northern Cape Provincial Government made a strong commitment to host the championships, and with it undoubtedly proved they were capable of hosting international football. And what made it more special was that all aspects of general organizational assistance, ranging from catering to security, came from adjacent communities. Locals certainly felt more such activities were needed in the region. This in order to highlight the ability of the Diamond City and to further develop the beautiful game in Kimberley. Metropolitan's participation in youth football extends well beyond the pitch. Their involvement with the oldest and biggest youth football tournament on African soil, the Metropolitan Premier Cup, proves their commitment to developing youth. The Premier Cup celebrates its 21st anniversary this year. One can say that Metropolitan is at the coalface of development football in South Africa. Further proof to that is that the 14 participating squads at the Metropolitan COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championships attended a life skills program. Topics such as HIV and AIDS and even financial management were dealt with in the session.
Black people. But that does not mean that people that's white cannot be HIV positive.
A concept, building your personal brand, was also introduced to the players. The idea was aimed to motivate players to build their personal brand.
So we try and talk to them about issues of life skills, HIV and AIDS, financial management, and really what that does is to make sure that if really they become the stars that we think they are already, and they end up maybe in an overseas team or playing for their big premiership teams, they're able to handle all of that pressure, because we've seen a lot of players who are very good players not being able to handle all of the fame and the fortune that comes with it.
I think that first and foremost it is a developmental tournament, and it's not only purely for players. So the first time this year we actually had a FIFA-led course for the newly appointed FIFA referees from our zone. When it comes to teams and national associations, obviously it's very expensive to participate at at youth competitions at continental level. So if you wanted to play in under-20 of CAF, you might end up having to play Tunisia or Burkina Faso, where the kind of costs involved are astronomical. Whereas being able to participate in an under-20 international competition with really minimal costs, because apart from your expense of coming to the venue, all other costs are borne by COSAFA.
During the 2002, you had Colin Pansuma. In 2003, we had Chris Katongo. In 2005, we had Tumilen Kune, the goalkeeper of the tournament. 2004, we had Tapine Kapiwi, who was a goalkeeper for Platinum Stars. It means there's a number of players. Steven Pinar played in 2001 in the same competitions, which means most of the players you see came through the ranks and through under-20. Now, most of them are playing the senior national teams.
In addition, Metropolitan included programs aimed at creating sustainability in the community. The day prior to the semi-finals, the 4 remaining national squads travelled to Platfontein for a check presentation ceremony to the planet's largest single community of San people. They are South Africa's oldest indigenous community. The chief leader of the Thun community enlightened those present with a short overview of the historical background of the community. Along with the cash injection, they also received football equipment and kit. The semi-finals were held at the Hlatshwayo Stadium. South Africa were drawn to play Zimbabwe. It was a replay of the 2007 COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship final. George Maluleka struck a magnificent shot on the turn from outside the box to hand the hosts an early lead. South Africa looked the sharper of the two sides and doubled their lead just before the break. Skipper Thulani Hlatshwayo headed home Mandla Masango's pinpoint cross. The Zimbabweans were thrown a lifeline. This after keeper Boalefa Pule fouled Knowledge Musona in the 51st minute. Musona picked himself up to dispatch the kick, pulling the score back to 3-1. The home fans suddenly became anxious, and on the hour mark, Oividi Karuru rose to head home a cross from Nicholas Alifandika to make it 3-2. However, just when it looked like Zimbabwe might pull off a miraculous comeback, Maluleke sealed victory for Amajita, forcing the ball home at the far post for a final score of 4-2. Sweet revenge over Zimbabwe for Amajita for last year's final defeat.
Felt so bad last year losing in the finals, and those boys had to make sure that they go to the finals, and going into the final after beating Zimbabwe. We had initially said that playing against Zambia would be a final, playing against Zimbabwe would be a final. until we go to another final. So we have played 3 finals.
In the second semi-final, Angola faced Mozambique. The Angolans dominated from the start, but Mozambique defended well. And against the run of play, Mozambique took the lead. But Angola equalized. After extra time failed to separate the two teams, the match went into a penalty shootout. And it was Mozambique who progressed to the final.
To the finals of the Metropolitan COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championships.
And so the stage was set for the 2008 Metropolitan COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship final. South Africa versus Mozambique. Amajita began the match like men possess and could have taken the lead on 3 occasions in the first 10 minutes. However, they fell into the trap of complacency and were caught cold in the 11th minute. Mano robbed Colin Zulu of the ball and fired a rasping shot into the far corner of Boafela Pule's goal. And Mano caused further chaos. The Mozambican striker doubled the lead and grabbed a brace on the 20th minute. But Amajita clawed their way back. In the 27th minute, Amajita captain Thulani Hlatshwayo headed Masibusani Zongo's far post corner across goal for Colin Zulu to score from close range. Two minutes later, parity had been restored. George Maluleke steered a glancing header past goalkeeper Sozio to send the teams into the break level at 2-2. The heat was a major contributing factor to the drop of intensity in the second half. Amajita dominated in the second half again, but were unable to breach the Mozambique goal. Amajita found keeper Sozio at his best. And as the spectre of a penalty shootout loomed as the clock ticked towards 90 minutes, there was one more twist to the tale. Kaizer Chiefs striker Mandla Masango clashed with Sozio as they challenged for the ball. The referee pointed to the spot, to the astonishment of the Mozambicans. Following a lengthy injury delay, Maluleke converted the championship winning spot kick, and moments later, the ref blew the final whistle.
Feeling is great, and I must say that the boys gave a good performance. In the first 10-20 minutes, I must say there was a lot of complacency. These boys thought that they would walk all over Mozambique, but they learned the hard way. They had to fight and make sure that from 2-0, they went on to score the 3 goals and win the championship.
Well, I felt that South Africa, at the end of the day, deserved thoroughly to win the tournament. Of course, we had a head start and we lost concentration.
For the region, of course, it's a great boost for football. It shows that one, talent is here in the province. That talent has been identified by the coaches that has been here. Secondly, it shows to our people what quality football is about, that we should come to the stadiums, we should fill stadiums, and that has been happening. For our 2010 aspirations, it shows that we can host these things. We can host tournaments of this nature and of this stature. The size of this tournament has been big. We've been investing quite a bit of money, quite a bit of effort, and it has paid off. So we are ready to host. Any team who's willing to set up a base camp here in 2010, you are welcome. We've done it.
The organizational ability of the Northern Cape Provincial Government, in partnership with Metropolitan, surely contributed towards paving the way for yet another successful tournament. and it added to the next successful campaign for Amajita at the Africa Youth Championships. Amajita finished that tournament in the last 4 and will compete at the Under-20 FIFA World Cup in Egypt later this year. The Southern African International Youth Competition proved Kimberley's capability to be an adequate base camp host city for nations seeking tranquility during the biggest football competition on the planet. This bodes well for the region's 2010 ambition.